Which leads me to describe what sin is then, because you surprised me when you gave me the definition of what that means, especially because, religious texts are talking so much about what sin is, or that we're born in a state of it. But when you describe what sin actually means, go ahead.
So the original meaning of sin from the Old Testament, it's called khata, Khata. That's how it was written in the Old Testament. And it's a Hebrew word, and it stands for missing the aim, missing the mark. It's a very different definition of sin, the way that we're conditioned to understand it, which is you're doing something bad you shouldn't be doing. Right?
That's how I always thought of it.
That's
how I've been
it.
conditioned to believe that it was.
Right. And so if you look at it that way, then what does it mean to miss the aim? Well, we all have desires and we have goals. How about we're not fulfilling our desires and goals? That would map on missing the aim. Now, the bigger the goal and the bigger the desire you have, the higher is the sin of not accomplishing it. Because if you believe as desire being a voice of God, of your spirit speaking to you, because you can be more than what you currently are, and not trying to fulfill that, you are committing the ultimate sin.
That's
because you're living in a state of limited potential. You have the potential, but you haven't realized it yet. And I think, that's what makes a lot of people later on in life angry and sad and cynical, is the fact that I know I could have done that. If it wasn't for my husband, I would have gone to school and I would have studied and I would have become that. If you think about like everyone that's older is like, that's the thing that they seem to worry about the most. And it makes perfect sense to me, because really it means that you didn't live up to your calling, man. It's like there's something that calls us that we feel inherently drawn towards doing, wherever that comes from, right? Deep within, you kind of know. This is good. It's good for me. It's good for other people. It feels right on all these different levels. Then that's your calling. That's what you should be doing. That means that if you're not doing it, again, based on the Old Testament, you're committing a sin.